You'll see why we're relating it to the lyrics in a minute, because we're going to use the lyrics to generate our rhythm patterns. So back to the thighs. So you've got tick and tock and tock and tock. So tick, tock, tock. Get it to that. So that's the pulse. And it's brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. And then as we add more beats, we end up getting more of the syllables of the lyric on beats. So the grid becomes much tighter, and it allows you to not get lost. You don't have to know the words, but I would imagine you'll get to know the words fairly easily. I've never done this song before this class, and I know a lot of the words now just from the repetition, and you've got to do a lot more repetition than I've done to get anywhere close to what I'm trying to get you to try and do. So we just go through the gears now, and it's like, you know, the original one, if you go brother bought a coconut, no, sorry, brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. There's a lot of gaps. Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. There's a lot of syllables there that fall between beats. So when we double up to brother bought a coke, brother bought a, so that's double. So with the original one is brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. That's the count, the meter that's set by the count on the song. The double up is dub dum dum dum. Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, he paid it for a lime. More words now align with beats. So if any of the words are out, you've got a better idea. And then when we bring the ands in, brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. She put the... Now, do you notice every single syllable of the word are on pulses without any gaps, without any pulse beats that don't have a word on them until you've got lime at the end of that line. Just bear that in mind. Brother bought a coconut, he bought it for a dime. His sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. So and then you've got so many beats there before the next line starts, and this is characteristic essentially when I keep telling you about doing a read through of the song and getting it infusing it into your ear and your body. One of the things I'm talking about is if you're marking out the beats with ands, is how the words fall, and where there are beats that have got no word on them, because they give you little spaces, and they're often breathers in the way that they put a comma into language and that kind of full stop. And also then when there's a space when there's no words, because the space has to be played correctly to get to the next line correctly. So in fact, just that last line of that verse, his sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. I think there's 2 beats before she put the lime in, the coconut comes in. So his sister had another one, she paid it for a lime. She put 2 beats. It's hard to spot, and you don't. When it's very important here that I've just done this last little bit here to give you some idea of the things you should be looking out for when you do read throughs and that kind of thing. You don't have to identify that there's 2 spaces. You just have to identify the way the language breathes a little bit more, and how up until that point, because there's a word on every beat, it's very metronomic, and you can get a sense of the feel. So when instead of having to pay attention to every fine detail of the song, when the feel goes wrong, you've gone wrong by the feel going wrong, rather than by I didn't put 2 beats here or 2 beats, or I put a beat there where there shouldn't be one. It's like, and this is why I say ultimately, even if you don't touch the guitar, there's not much to do on the guitar in terms of no chord changes, one chord song, but you've still got lots of read throughs to get to know the ideas behind the song, because songs with more chords can just get more difficult because you've got all the chords to deal with as well as all this. But everything that's happening in this song happens in all of the songs, which is why I'm trying to give you some insight in this making this a little bit longer than just this section, to make sure you get a bit more idea on what it is you're listening for. And the final thing is even though I'll give you a bit of detail, if you can sing the line and you can talk the words in the right time that they're done in the song, you know the timing. That automatically means you know where all the beats are placed, because you're doing it in time, and that's the thing. You can go back and review from the opposite direction then if you want to. Anyway, that's just stuff I've already said multiple times. So on to something more interesting.